What's good, everybody? Hey, look, I want to talk about the defense today, man. We talked a little about miscues yesterday. I want to talk about some of these defensive miscues, and in particular, guys, I want to talk about the way this defense has been lacking against emotion. We've just been very undisciplined. Don't get me wrong, we got guys emerging, guys that are playing well, like Brandon Graham and stuff, but we just have been very undisciplined against motion, against options, like zone reads. Like we don't have it this year. It's missing. I'm gonna get into that a little bit, guys. All right, y'all. Let's get to it. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is you get around to watching this, guys. Once again, Steven Hyder, Gate City Sports Channel. All right, y'all. Today's topic, man. I want to talk about motion. Let's talk about motion, guys, because I got to be real with you. I went down and I tracked every third down play because I was trying to figure out like what was going on with us. Like I looked at the deep analytics and then I wanted to go consult film about third down defense, right? And I noticed that if you get the Eagles in like third and 7 through third and 10, our defense, had been holding up fairly well. Like that's when Jim, dials up the blitzes. He brings up the coverage up a little bit more. He doesn't just give easy dump offs. Like we were a much better defense in those down and distances. But the thing is like when I went through the game footage, I tracked every single play from third down, not just third and 7 through third and 10, just every third down period through 8 weeks of the season. I haven't added in what just happened this past weekend, guys, yet, but that'll be there. Don't worry. It's going into my notes. This is what I'll say. Even without considering the fact that we got beat by motion and we got beat by zone reads on downs that were not just third down. Like when I tracked it, guys, there's a lot. There's a lot here. We're losing. We are losing off of motion a lot. We're losing a lot off of these quarterback reads. We're losing so much off these zone reads. And I want to start us off and I want to take this one little thing at a time. And the first thing I want to show you guys and the first thing I want us to talk about today, guys, I want to talk about quarterbacks beating us, okay? Whether it's through scrambling, whether it's through, just kind of booting themselves out and taking out on us, whether it's through the zone read. I want to talk about just how undisciplined we have been this season at, number one, the defensive ends with their containment. Number two, linebackers filling gaps correctly. Because it's been a problem this year. Let's start off with the quarterbacks and let's take a look at what's happened, guys. Because it's not good. You guys know that. You don't need me to tell you that. All right, ladies and gents, the first play I want to show you, just pay attention to the Eagles, okay? This is an adaptation of what's called the diamond front defense, okay? For all my old heads out there, y'all know about the 1980s defenses when they used to commonly do this to stop the run, right? It was really the Houston Texans that popularized this in the modern game with using it for pass rushes. The concept being is you're putting 5 linemen down there, and you're using your linebackers essentially as linemen in this scenario. You got one in the Joker formation here, right? And you're trying to get pressure. You're trying to get one-on-one matchups. The Eagles work in an extra wrinkle where they also do that. They try to get the one-on-one matchup, and they also try to basically bring Josh Sweat as a looper, right? So they're running a stunt. He's your looper on that stunt. The issue when you pull Josh Sweat as the looper on this diamond front is because you did that, there's no containment now on the outside. On basically what's the field side right there, right? So your boundary side is actually the offensive right, and then the field side is the offensive left on this one, right? You do that by the hashes where the ball is. So, look, Haskins sees it. He motions his running back out, right? Now he's got a spread formation on him, okay? It looks like to me the Eagles, you can make a lot of arguments what kind of coverage they're in. To me, this looks like a very typical cover one concept here. This looks like man concept cover one with a diamond front. So they're coming for pressure, right? I'm not trying to knock Jim Johnson. I wish it was Jim Johnson, man. I'm not trying to knock Jim Schwartz for trying to get pressure. I think it's a smart idea. It's the finer details of things, right? Like not having containment on a quarterback who hasn't hit a pass really the whole game, not consistently and not with any kind of conviction here. But he can run. I know the conception was his kid couldn't run, but That's people who really didn't know Haskins' career in college. He was better at it than people knew. He just wasn't a guy that does it all the time. So he spreads them out. He sees that pressure. He sees the looper, and he takes off right through it because he sees there's no one on that side of the field. The coverage basically gets run right off that side of the field. It's an easy conversion. It's an easy pickup. So, boom. Here it is playing out, guys. Now, how do you limit, how do you prevent stuff like this, guys? It's tough. You got to pick your poison for when you're going to bring pressure. I'm generally speaking not a guy who's against running stunts and things like that. Like, you need those type of, wrinkles in your playbook here. But it's about the timing, man. Like, you got to go back on film when these kind of things happen to you. And we got to consult it, right? Because we haven't been good at getting off the field on third down. And this is a reason why. It's situational things. It's not like the entire thing stinks. It's the situational calls we're making. But I want to get into one more example from the quarterback perspective of us getting burnt. All right, ladies and gents. This is the Baltimore Raven game. And what bothers me about this designed play here is it's quite obvious to everyone in the room. I'm pretty sure you guys had a hunch at home, like, they're going to run Lamar Jackson on this. Even the announcer says, it's been a while since they ran Jackson.
The third quarter. Haven't seen a called run for Lamar Jackson in a little while now.
It's frustrating that we didn't have the foresight as a coaching staff to see the momentum and the way the game was kind of unfolding, that this was clearly going to happen. And they hit us with, to me, this is a little zone read. I call it zone read, guys, because you can say, well, your short's not just an RPO, and it's not, because, obviously you can still run in an RPO, but when RPOs, you don't have guards pulling and hit, like, no, you're not doing these zone blocking assignment things. Not zone, I'm sorry. You're not doing gap blocking when it comes to like with an RPO. This is clearly a zone read. He zone reads with, I don't know if that, it could, I can't remember, guys. I don't know if that was Gus Edwards he zone read with. Maybe it was Dobbins. I don't remember, to be quite honest. But they zone read in the middle of that offensive, that offensive line opens up the middle of the defense, and he's just gone.
It's the same spot as the last drive when Jackson took that sack. But this time, Jackson will...
I mean, this is one of those situations where we have to know better. We have to be better than this. Like, this one wasn't necessarily the defensive ends not doing what they were supposed to do. This one was more so we didn't fill the right gap assignments, okay? From the linebacker perspective. We didn't fill in on the right gap assignments, and that just opened up, that was Moses parting the seas, guys. And there goes Lamar Jackson, 37 yards for a touchdown.
Do it himself! A sprint for the...
Listen, Lamar Jackson's a dynamic football player. I'm not trying to take anything away from Lamar Jackson. That play is completely preventable. Maybe he picks up the first down. He shouldn't be walking 37 yards into the end zone, though. Like, that play is preventable just by the linebackers being where they're supposed to be. I mean, straightforward. If you go get linebackers that know how to stack and shed and fill the gap, who play with anticipation, these kind of plays don't happen. That's the problem I have when we talk, like, this is a different conversation, guys, and I'll get off of it quickly for you, but this is the problem I have with the personnel decisions we make at times, right? Wanting to get these lighter, faster linebackers. I get the game has changed. I get you need those guys. You still need gap fillers, man. You still got Lamar Jacksons out there that if you don't get to the gap and you can't stack and shed a block as a linebacker, you're gonna get victimized. You're gonna get abused. So, and that'll lead us into, I'll give you one of the Daniel Jones runs. We can look at one of these Daniel Jones runs, and you'll have that one in your arsenal too to see as well. All right, y'all. Danny Dimes. I said something in the pregame show, and everyone wanted to laugh at me when I said, people like to make fun of Daniel Jones, but this kid is way more athletic than he's being given credit for. This kid has the fastest recorded time GPS reading on the field from a quarterback using his legs. Is he faster than Lamar Jackson? I don't know, guys. Sometimes people don't understand that with his agility and quickness is superior to just frontline speed. So a guy could technically be a faster guy if you're measuring out 60 yards and letting him run than a guy that's just a much more explosive athlete, because that guy can stop, he can move, he can go on a dime. Like, to me, I'll always take the agility more than I'll take the front, that top end speed. But with that said, this is another example of just a zone read. This time, this isn't the linebackers like the previous play against Baltimore. Nothing against Alex Singleton. I like Alex Singleton. Alex Singleton made a bad mistake there. in the Lamar Jackson one. He read nothing but that Gus Edwards or the running back going out there, into the flats. He thought that's where the ball was going. Completely left his responsibility, his hole, and then boom, there goes Lamar Jackson. On this one, watch Josh Sweat, guys.
Jones on the keep.
Josh Sweat crashes entirely too far down inside. Okay? Once Daniel Jones sees Josh Sweat crash that far down, he knows he's got a big pickup. He's probably not anticipating a touchdown there, but he knows it's going to be a really big pickup at this point. Pulls it back. Boom. Zone read. It's
Daniel Jones showing his legs, showing his speed, and Jones into the end zone.
It's discipline, guys. It's coming down to discipline. These are issues and concerns of discipline more than anything, okay? I was going to go through and I was going to show a few more plays, but I think that the point's been made here. I think we can see this. Like, you guys get that this is an issue of discipline. It bothers me because we should be better than this. Like, don't get me wrong. We have, I don't want to sit here and, bury some of these players. Like, Josh Sweat is having a good season, but he's not playing disciplined football in aspects of the run defense, okay? He's too focused on trying to get those big stat numbers. And we got to stop these guys. Like, guys, we've got to play team-friendly football. In the words of Bill Belichick, do your job. If your job is to take the quarterback and your job is to take the running back, do not make a beeline for something that is not within your responsibility. Play your responsibility first before you do that. To me, that's the bigger issue that's going on with this defense right now. All right, guys. Ladies and gents, this is my thoughts. But Jerry, I'm going to ask you. I want to know what you think. I've showed you some plays here. I broke down the film. I broke down where the gaps in responsibility occurred. To me, guys, I can't help but get this gut feeling. We've got too many guys out here looking for those stats and not necessarily looking to do the right thing. Not necessarily looking to play for the man beside them. It's got to change, in my opinion, guys. This has to change, or this will be a hard season to stomach, in my opinion. But I want to know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. I'm going to cut this video off if it gets too long. I have plenty of this stuff lined up, guys. I have more than enough data, more than enough film to show you guys, so don't worry. There'll be more coming. Please, leave your thoughts below, y'all. All right, y'all. You know how we end these videos. I'll do it for y'all today. We do a little E-A-G-L-E-S. All right, y'all. Let's go, Eagles.